From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang. Before heading to the United States, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. instructed concerned government agencies to monitor and spearhead the relief and rescue efforts due to relentless rains and flooding in the country. In a video message, the President advised the public to listen and follow advices from authorities to ensure their safety amid the rains and flooding currently being experienced in the country. The chief executive assured that the government is ready to provide the needs, sufficient water supply, transportation, and other forms of assistance. Let us listen to the message of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Sa aking mga kababayan, bago po kami umalis ng Maynila upang pumunta sa Amerika para bumisita, nag-official visit po tayo sa Pangulo ng Amerika, si President Trump, ay nabigyan ko na ng instruction ang lahat ng ating mga ahensya na paghandaan ang naging baha dahil sa napakalakas na ulan. Sinabihan ko na ang OCD, DOTR, DOH, DOST, DSWD, DPWH, DOE at saka DILG at lahat pa ng lahat ng ahensya na magtrabaho sila at mag-coordinate sila upang tiyakin na ligtas ang ating mga kababayan. Ang mga relief goods ay nakahanda na, idinideliver na doon sa mga area na nangangailangan. Yung mga medical team, kasabay na rin noong ating mga relief goods. At tinitiyak natin na merong transportasyon. At siyempre, ay tinitiyak natin na may sapat na supply ng tubig, sapat na supply ng kuryente. At lahat ito ay para sa pangangailangan ng mga naging biktima nitong pagbaha at malakas na ulan. Pakiusap ko lang po sa inyo ay pakinggan nyo po ang mga sinasabing advisory ng inyong LGU, ng national government at pakisundan lang po para naman matiyak natin na hindi kayo malagay sa alanganin. Nandito kami lagi upang magbigay ng lahat ng serbisyo na kailangan sa harap ng hamon ng climate change. Siguraduhin natin mas lalo pang mapalakas ang kakayahan ng pamahalaan na tumugon sa ganitong klaseng sitwasyon.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Meanwhile, Philippine Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. assured that President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. is monitoring 24/7 and coordinating with concerned government agencies to address the effects of Typhoon Krising while he is in the United States for an official visit. According to Secretary Teodoro, upon the directive of the President, the Philippine government is coordinating with the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command to use Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement or EDCA sites and other equipment for the relief and rescue operations of our countrymen.
Magandang araw po, mga minamahal nating kababayan. Gusto lang po iulat ng inyong ambang lingkod na ako po'y binilinan constantly ng ating presidente bago pa man ako umalis na bantayan maigi ang relief efforts, rescue efforts at saka iba't ibang mga coordinated responses ng ating gobyerno dito sa bagyong Krising. Ngayon po na nandito tayo, ako po'y kausap si General Bronner sa ating Armed Forces of the Philippines at i-coordinate din po niya ang mga kinakailangan na tulong sa US Indo-PACOM upang magamit po ang EDCA facilities at iba't ibang pang mga kagamitan na kinakailangan na katulong ng ating Armed Forces of the Philippines upang makaresponde sa ating mga kababayan. At bago po yan, kami po ay nag-meeting ni na Secretary Gatchalian, kaya po nakapreposition na po ang mga relief goods. Ngunit ganun pa man, kahit na nandito po kami at nakikipag-usap hinggil sa mga importanteng mga issue, kami po ay nakatutok bilang chairperson po ng NDRRMC at saka OCD sa ating Interagency Coordinating Cell, kung saan 24/7 po na nakamonitor at sinusubukan po natin hindi lang po sagutin ang mga pangangailangan ng ating mga nasalanta, kung hindi anticipate ang mga susunod pa na kinakailangan gawin. Umasa po kayo na 24/7 po nakatutok ang ating Pangulo at dito po sa Amerika, nandito po ang ating mga counterparts, ang US Indo-PACOM, kung saan nakikipag-usap kay General Bronner upang saan pwede makipagtulungan. Nandiyan na rin po ang Japan at iba pang mga kaalyado natin. Dito po makikita ng ating mga kababayan ang benepisyo ng pakikipag-ugnayan ng mga armed forces para makaligtas sa ating mga kababayan laban sa mga hamon ng kalikasan. Salamat po.
Was Philippine Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Malacañang suspended government work in classes at all levels on Tuesday in Metro Manila and several other provinces due to continuing rainfall brought by the southwest monsoon or habagat. Aside from Metro Manila, the suspension covers Zambales, Bataan, Pampanga, Bulacan, Cavite, Batangas, Rizal, Pangasinan, Tarlac, and Occidental Mindoro. Presidential Communications Office or PCO Secretary Dave Gomez confirmed to reporters on Monday evening that the palace approved the suspension as recommended by the Office of the Civil Defense or OCD. This follows the announcement of Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla on social media. Gomez said President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has authorized Remulla to announce class suspensions. According to Memorandum Circular or MC number 89, agencies responsible for basic, vital, and health services, preparedness, and response duties are mandated to remain operational to ensure continuity of essential government functions despite the declaration of work suspension. Non-vital government employees of subject agencies may be engaged under approved alternate work arrangements. Further, the localized cancellation or suspension of classes and or work in government offices in other regions may be implemented by their respective local chief executives pursuant to relevant laws, rules, and regulations. Currently, local chief executives can declare class suspensions in their localities. For broader or regional suspensions, the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or NDRRMC, typically makes a recommendation to the palace. Meanwhile, the suspension of work for private companies and offices is left to the discretion of their respective heads.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday met with United States Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth at the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. The meeting follows Secretary Hegseth's courtesy call in Malacañang Palace last March, which the President describes as a significant symbol since it conveyed a clear message about the ongoing partnership and mutual understanding under the Mutual Defense Treaty or MDT between the Philippines and the United States. President Marcos underscored that the MDT remains the cornerstone of Philippines-U.S. relations, especially in defense and security cooperation. reinforcing the commitment of both nations to the treaty are existing agreements and various exchanges that have taken place between the two countries since Secretary Hegseth visited Manila. The chief executive mentioned that the joint exercises between the Armed Forces of the Philippines or AFP and the U.S. military, noting positive feedback from the AFP personnel involved. He further notes that this has been a positive development and thanks the United States government for its ongoing support to the country amid emerging threats, especially in the modernization of the AFP. President Marcos stated that the alliance between the Philippines and the U.S. has played a significant role in maintaining stability in the South China Sea and across the entire Indo-Pacific region. He also expressed that the Philippines remains committed to strengthening the relationship and looks forward to upcoming discussions between the two governments. For his part, Secretary Hegseth highlighted the progress made between his country and the Philippines since his visit to Manila, particularly in terms of modernizing the armed forces and collective defense. He also cited the largest and most sophisticated balikatan or shoulder-to-shoulder exercise conducted and the Philippines' participation in the Talisman Sabre in Australia. The U.S. Defense Secretary conveyed that the U.S. and the Philippines must forge a strong shield for peace and ensure the long-term security and prosperity of both nations.
Dateline Malacañang.
The National Security Council, or NSC, on Monday said that National Security Advisor, or NSA, Eduardo Año met with United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Washington, D.C. last week, where they exchanged views regarding topics of mutual interest, including the West Philippine Sea, or WPS. In a statement, the NSC said the two NSAs exchanged views on the regional security situation, particularly in the South China Sea, or SCS, and WPS, and future activities to further strengthen the alliance between the two nations in order to establish credible deterrence in the region. Rubio concurrently sits as the U.S.'s acting NSA, replacing Mike Waltz on May 1st. The meeting took place days before the scheduled meeting of Presidents Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. and Donald Trump in Washington this week to deepen the two countries' strategic partnership, particularly on defense and economic cooperation. During their meeting, Año and Rubio underscored the need to enhance deterrence in the SCS and WPS and the importance of maintaining peace and security in the region for the economic security of both the Philippines and the U.S. The Philippine official stressed the inseparability of defense security and economic security. Both officials also underscored the importance of engaging with traditional allies and other like-minded partners to ensure a rules-based international order and a free, open, and prosperous Indo-Pacific.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, Philippine Army, or PA units, have joined efforts to bring assistance and relief to communities severely affected by the combined effects of severe tropical storm Krising and the southwest monsoon, or Habagat. In a statement on Monday, PA spokesperson Colonel Louis De Maala said teams from major Army units have been working closely with local government responders to evacuate residents, distribute emergency relief goods, and conduct road clearing and damage assessment operations in severely affected areas. In Western Visayas and Negros Island, De Maala said, troops from the 3rd Infantry Division were deployed to assist in road clearing operations and ensure safe access to isolated communities. In Ilocos Norte, soldiers from the 5th Infantry Division, in coordination with officials from the town of Elizabeth in Marcos, conducted infrastructure assessments and assisted in evaluating damage to homes and public facilities. De Maala added that troops from the 5th Infantry Division also helped distribute 1,000 food packs to families in the 16th town in San Nicolas, Pangasinan Province. Meanwhile, the 8th Infantry Division deployed its Disaster Rescue and Response Unit in Eastern Visayas with 5 specialized teams on standby for immediate deployment. He added that these operations are part of a coordinated national response under the direction of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council aimed at delivering fast, effective, and community-focused disaster relief across the country. Meantime, around 276 individuals were assisted by police personnel during rescue operations at the height of the bad weather, Philippine National Police or PNP Chief General Nicolas Torre III said on Monday. Torre said that police have also served around 35,000 individuals in evacuation centers. He said nearly 3,000 police personnel were deployed for disaster response operations with an additional 7,000 on standby as part of the Reactionary Support Force. Torre also said some PNP equipment was damaged while 62 police personnel were affected by the weather disturbances.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Philippines Department of Agriculture or DA has released 133.09 million pesos in assistance package for farmers affected by the severe tropical storm Krising and southwest monsoon or Habagat. The DA, in a bulletin issued on Monday, detailed the interventions being rolled out, including agricultural inputs such as rice, corn, and vegetable seeds from DA Regional Field Offices or RFOs in Central Luzon, Mimaropa, Central Visayas, Zamboanga Peninsula, Soc-Sargen, and Caraga. The agency has also activated its Quick Response Fund to support the rehabilitation and recovery of affected areas. Farmers may also avail of loans of up to 25,000 pesos under the Agricultural Credit Policy Council's Survival and Recovery Loan Program. The loans are payable in 3 years at 0 interest. In addition, insured farmers will receive indemnification through the Philippine Crop Insurance Corporation. Based on initial reports, the RFOs in Ilocos Region, Cagayan Valley, Central Luzon, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, and Western Visayas have recorded 96.9 million pesos in damage and losses to rice, corn, high-value crops, livestock, and poultry. A total of 4,665 farmers have been affected, with production losses estimated at 2,236 metric tons across 6,037 hectares of farmland. The DA said these figures are subject to ongoing validation. Meanwhile, the Department of Public Works and Highways, or DPWH, reported that several national road sections in the Cordillera Administrative Region, or CAR, Central Luzon, Calabarzon, and Zamboanga Peninsula are closed or partially passable due to the effects of the typhoon. The DA warned this may disrupt the transport of agricultural commodities. In response, DARFOs have begun conducting field validation and needs assessments in affected areas. The regional offices are also coordinating with national and local agencies to monitor road conditions and flooding, and are conducting price monitoring to prevent spikes in the cost of agricultural products.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, the House of Representatives on Monday said it is now 90 to 95% ready to host Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s fourth State of the Nation Address or SONA at the Batasang Pambansa Complex in Quezon City. House spokesperson, lawyer Princess Abante, made the announcement following the final interagency coordination meeting held earlier in the day to finalize preparations. In a press briefing, Abante said the House is now in the final stretch of SONA preparations, with all agencies involved closely monitoring weather conditions and fine-tuning contingency plans. Despite intermittent rains and prevailing weather systems in recent days, she clarified that these have not caused any disruption. In case of severe weather, Abante said, contingency plans are being considered, but there have been no talks of postponing the physical gathering on July 28th. She added that security preparations are finalized and will be similar to last year with minor adjustments as needed. Abante also clarified that there are no specific security threats currently being monitored, though law enforcement agencies remain vigilant. On the guest list, she said that while she does not have the exact numbers, attendance is expected to be similar to last year's record turnout. Abante also encouraged the public to tune in to the President's fourth SONA.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, Radyo Pilipinas World Service of the Presidential Broadcast Service is now live on audio streaming. Just download Evox PBS Receiver on your Google Play Store or the App Store from your Apple phone. You can also visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Just type in and search for Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our post as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
Dateline Malacañang. From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.